As I drifted off during my remote work break, I was jolted awake by a sharp kick to my back and stomach. My mother-in-law stood over me, her voice laced with accusation. "Stop wasting time on that computer," she scolded. "You hardly work, you should be doing something useful like cleaning." Frustration bubbled inside me. "I'm not just playing around," I protested, trying to explain my remote work. But it seemed futile. She couldn't grasp the concept. Enduring her daily harassment had worn me down, and I finally stood up for myself. Yet my defiance only seemed to enrage her further. In a terrifying turn, she grabbed the electric kettle and poured scalding water over me, insisting it was my fault. Desperate pleas fell on deaf ears as she continued, laughing cruelly. Living under her roof felt like a never-ending nightmare, and in that moment, I reached my breaking point. Just as I felt trapped, a familiar voice echoed from my computer. Confusion crossed my mother-in-law's face as she heard it, giving me a momentary escape. "My name is Cherry, and I'm on the brink of turning 30. I married Ken, my college classmate, and our bond was strengthened by our shared passion for design. Despite the stability of our marriage, I yearned for more financial freedom. So at 29, I took a leap of faith and started my own business." Ken's unwavering support surprised me. Instead of discouraging me, he embraced my decision wholeheartedly. His encouragement, along with his promise to work hard alongside me, filled me with newfound determination. His offer to connect me with his dad for potential work opportunities was the cherry on top. With his backing, I felt ready to pursue my passion and carve out my own path in the design world. Turns out my father-in-law is also in the design business, so we decided to ask for his help. He was a sales manager, but it wasn't a cakewalk. I worked tirelessly for almost no pay and had many days of repeat-needed proposals and revisions. Maybe I wasn't cut out for this independent thing. Don't say that. You just started. Don't give up, and someone will eventually recognize your talent. There were many times I voiced my insecurities to Ken, but thanks to his unwavering support, I was able to keep pushing forward. About a year after starting my own business, my father-in-law began to appreciate my work, and I started getting larger contracts, which brought in more money. Now we can live a little more comfortably. That's what I thought, feeling relieved. But then another issue arose. It was about my mother-in-law. "Cherry, are you doing well? You look so stressed out. Why don't you take a break and chat with me?" Lately, she found out. I've been working from home, and she began visiting us frequently. It would be nice if she came over occasionally for a chat, but recently she's been coming over every day, and once she starts talking, she can go on for 2 to 3 hours. I don't dislike her, but at this rate, I can't get any work done. I appreciate your concern, but I have a deadline coming up. Could you maybe leave for today? Or you can relax here, whichever you prefer. I know I'm being a bit rude to my mother-in-law, but if I don't, I won't get any work done. What's that? Well, fine, I'll leave for today. My mother-in-law left without a fuss. Now I can work in peace. But because of this incident, I started receiving intense harassment from her. The next day, after seeing Ken off to work, I started my tasks as usual. I need to finish this project by the end of today. I was so engrossed in my work that I didn't notice the time passing. When I looked at the clock, it was already past noon. Time flies, I've been working too hard. Just as I thought of getting some lunch, the doorbell rang. Must be a delivery, coming without checking the monitor. I unlocked the door and responded, "Could I come in for a moment?" When I opened the door, my mother-in-law was standing there. She looked quite upset. "Maybe it's about yesterday. I'm coming in." Ignoring my confusion, she barged into the house. I know I was rude yesterday, so I should apologize about that. I let her sit on the living room couch and immediately apologized. "I'm sorry about yesterday. What are you talking about?" When I apologized, she smirked with a hint of menace in her eyes. That's fine. What a relief she wasn't upset. Relieved, I inadvertently let my guard down, showing a relaxed expression. It's a hassle if things get strained, so maybe I should just try to keep my mother-in-law in a good mood today. But the next moment she said something unexpected. "Well, I'm not upset about yesterday. I never thought you'd say such a thing to your mother-in-law. It's a bit much." "I'm sorry you are upset after all." I wanted to retort, but I held back. I just need to endure this for now. With that in mind, I continued to listen to what my mother-in-law had to say. "If you're so independent and working from home, are you even earning anything? If not, shouldn't you focus on housework? I'm earning a decent amount. Don't lie. There's no way someone like you earns that much. Ken must be so bothered by you." I might have caused some inconvenience to Ken, but she didn't need to say it like that. My earnings are now on par with Ken's. My mother-in-law, without any regard for my situation, hurled insults at me. If she just came to complain. I wish she'd leave sooner. Want to say something? Damn, my emotions must have shown on my face. I hurriedly fixed my expression. "No, not at all. I've decided to make you a proper wife. I'll train you. I'll come over every day, teach you cleaning, cooking, laundry. Everything. This is a nightmare. Even if I refused, she'd probably force her way in. Might as well play along and hope she gets tired of it soon." "Understood. I appreciate it." "Oh, you're surprisingly obedient. Good. Well, I'll leave for today. See you tomorrow." That day she seemed satisfied and left without any further issues. I wonder if everything's going to be all right. Feeling anxious, that night I discussed with my husband Ken about the possibility of my mother-in-law visiting us daily. "Hey, your mom came over today. She said she's going to train me rigorously in household chores every day." "Wait, what?" "It's nice of her to help, but I've got work too, you know. Every day might be a bit much." "I get it. I'll talk to Mom about it." Asking her to come every day is a bit much. Besides, you already do plenty around the house. There's not much more you need to learn. I knew I made the right choice marrying him. I thought he might coldly tell me to handle it myself, but his caring nature hasn't changed since the day we met. "Thank you." Feeling relieved by Ken's words, my anxieties were put to rest, and I drifted off to sleep. The next morning, right on cue, my mother-in-law arrived. "Good morning, you're early today." "Day early? It's already past 9. You've done some cleaning, haven't you?" "Well, not yet." "What have you been doing?" "At this rate, the day will be gone before you know it. Come on, get started. Let's begin with the living room." She's full of energy first thing in the morning. Under her watchful eye, I reluctantly began cleaning. "Do you really think you can get it clean by cutting corners like that? Be more thorough." She sat comfortably on the sofa, watching TV. It's hard to muster any enthusiasm when someone's lounging around while telling you to clean thoroughly. "Understood." After about an hour of meticulous cleaning, I felt I had gotten the living room as clean as it had ever been. "I'm done. Let's see." She got up and began inspecting the living room, scrutinizing every detail with a keen eye like a hawk. After putting in so much effort, I doubted she'd find anything to complain about, but I was mistaken. "Look here, this isn't clean at all. We're right here behind the TV." Hearing behind, I noticed a tiny speck of dust. Really, she's making a fuss over that while. I thought it was trivial. She clearly didn't. You really can't do household chores properly, can you? You're failing as a wife. "I'm sorry, I'll clean it up right now." "Do it over, start from the beginning." Order to redo my work. I spent the entire day cleaning just the living room. At this rate, I'll never get any work done. She continued her visits day after day, and my time to work was getting pushed further into the night. Her criticism was getting worse. Worst of all, she never came on Ken's days off. "Hurry up after cleaning, give me a massage, then make my lunch." I was pushed to my limits both mentally and physically. I thought about asking Ken for help many times, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't want to burden him with more problems when he already had stress from work. One day, as usual, my mother-in-law came over, but that day I had an important meeting I couldn't miss. "Can I please ask for an exception today? I have an important meeting." "What's that about?" "It's a pitch for a large contract. It'll be over by the evening." This meeting was for a project with my father-in-law's company. If we clinched it, we'd earn a significant amount. Failure wasn't an option. After begging and pleading, she allowed me to attend the meeting. That concludes my proposal. I like it, it's a good design. Lost in the heat of the discussion, I forgot about the time. Glancing at the clock, it was just past noon. I think it's a good proposal too. Let's take a short break. Feeling relieved, exhaustion washed over me. I hadn't been getting much sleep lately, and I thought a quick nap might help. I have been sleeping well lately, so I thought I'd take a short nap. Deciding this, I laid my head down on my desk and started to nap. How long had I been asleep? I wasn't sure, but suddenly I felt a sharp blow to my back. What you're sleeping was your work, just a lie. Parasite, get out of this house right now. Wait, that hurts, please stop. Shut up, Parasite. My mother-in-law kept hitting my back and stomach over and over. Why did I have to endure such cruelty? Then the next moment, hot, what are you doing? Stop, help, this is what parasites deserve. You know, did you know bugs calm down when you pour boiling water on them? Having boiling water thrown on me, I instinctively jumped up from the chair. Looking at my mother-in-law, she held an electric kettle in her hand. Please stop it, isn't it your fault? Well, have you learned your lesson? No matter how much I pleaded with her to stop, she just laughed and kept pouring the boiling water. I'm at my limit with someone like her. No matter how many lives I had, it wouldn't be enough. I thought I needed to punch her and stop her right then and there. Then from my computer I heard a familiar voice. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Wait, what's happening? Hearing that voice, my mother-in-law's face quickly turned pale. Oh right, I forgot to turn off my camera before the break. My father-in-law must have seen everything. Don't move from there. In a cold, angry voice, my father-in-law spoke to my mother-in-law. She trembled with fear and froze in place. A hellish punishment awaited her afterward. Why is my husband on the screen? I had a meeting with your husband's company today. Why didn't you tell me such an important thing? My mother-in-law, who had looked pale a moment ago, now shouted at me with a red face. It's not my fault. You didn't know. We argued back and forth for about 30 minutes when the doorbell rang. Yes, it's me. Can you let me in? On the monitor, my father-in-law's face appeared. He was smiling, but his eyes weren't. He actually seemed pretty angry to me. Who's that? It's your husband. No, tell him to leave. You can't just ask him to leave like that. If anyone should leave, it's you, I defiantly said to my mother-in-law as I tried to open the door. I don't think so. Opening the door, my father-in-law walked in. Though older, he was quite robust. I had heard he used to be in the wrestling club and still occasionally did weight training. Long time no see, Cherry, but I mean, we just had a remote meeting a little while ago. Yes, by the way, what happened? I mean, the meeting, that's not an issue. I've been separately communicating with the person in charge during the meeting. I think your proposal will be adopted, so I told them it's fine to cancel today's meeting. That's a relief. Now I can continue with my work. But why did he come? He looked so angry that it seemed the meeting was canceled because of something serious. I'm really grateful for the job opportunity. But why did you come all the way here today and even cancel the meeting? As I asked my father-in-law this question, he gave me a brief smile and then proceeded to walk over to my mother-in-law. The next thing I knew, he delivered a fierce kick to her stomach. I came here today just for this. Thanks to the camera Cherry left on, I saw everything that happened. He grabbed my mother-in-law's hair, pulling her up violently after the blow she received. She looked like she was struggling to breathe. Hey, what do you think you're doing? He followed up his words with a solid punch to her face. Blood gushed from her nose. I'm sorry, what was that? Speak up. He then landed another powerful blow to her body. This is insane. If this keeps up, she's going to end up dead. His unrelenting assault on her made me realize the gravity of the situation. My father-in-law then left her on the floor, battered and bruised. Then he turned to me. Hey, can I go to the bathroom? The bathroom? Sure, but thanks. What is he planning to do? This wasn't the kind-hearted father-in-law I used to know. His demeanor was so terrifying that even I felt fear. If I were to refuse him, would I become his next target? Such intense anger radiated from him, it was palpable. Hey, let's go. Hurry up, jerk. Grabbing my mother-in-law by the collar, he dragged her toward the bathroom. He filled the tub with water and, without even removing her clothes, threw her in. Wait, what are you doing? What do you think? It's bath time. You can't be serious. She no longer had the spirit she did when she used to badmouth me. She was trembling with fear, expecting another bout of violence from my father-in-law. Her legs were shaking like a newborn fawn's would. "How's the water? Nice and warm, right? I'll make it even better for you." Saying this, he turned the water temperature up to its maximum. "Stop, please. I will never do anything like this again. Forgive me." "I think you're apologizing to the wrong person." "I'm so sorry," she pleaded desperately, crying her eyes out. Despite her apologies after everything she had put me through, I couldn't easily forgive her. "Well, you going to forgive her?" Without saying a word, I just shook my head. Seeing that she looked utterly defeated, too bad. With that, he began pouring the scalding water over her again. "Stop it, please. This is for what you did to Cherry." Seeing her scream and suffer, I felt a twinge of pity. My father-in-law was relentless. After about 15 minutes, she was completely drained. "That's enough. All right, looks like Cherry has forgiven you. Anything to say?" "I'm so sorry." Hearing her apology, he roughly pulled her out of the tub. I was relieved he wasn't against me. Deep down, as I witnessed this, those were my thoughts. "I'm going to head out now. I'll take her home with me." "I'm so sorry, so sorry." Her face was swollen from the beating and her entire body looked like it had been scalded. I didn't have to take any revenge because he did it all for me. There was just one thing I wanted to say. "Thank you for helping. I truly appreciate it. And to you, may I say one thing?" "Of course, what is it?" "Please never set foot in this house again. I never want to see you. It all may have started when I told you to leave today. I used to endure your daily mistreatment out of guilt. But what you did to me today was nothing but violence. If you ever think of reporting him to the police, I'll report you too. Just remember that." "I understand. I promise I won't do anything." Finally, it was over. The two of them left, apologizing until the very end. Finally, peace would return to my life. Still, I never imagined my father-in-law would go that far. He must have been incredibly angry with her. I need to make sure my husband never does anything like that to me. That night, I told him everything that happened. "Your father showed up out of the blue and beat up your mother." "What? Dad did that." "After she kicked me and poured boiling water on me. It all got captured on a camera set up for a meeting. My father-in-law saw it and came over." "Sounds just like Dad." "What do you mean?" "Dad has always hated seeing the weak getting bullied. He'd get really mad, whether it was a man or a woman. I got yelled at a lot by him. He believed in giving back as good as he got. Once when I was in elementary school, I carelessly tore up a girl's textbook. Dad gave her my textbook and some of my favorite comics and told her to rip them up in front of me. Ever since then, I felt like I couldn't do anything bad with him around." "Ah, I see. So he's always been a justice-driven person. So that's why he did the same thing to her that she did to me. It all makes sense now." About a month later, my in-laws split up. I've heard my mother-in-law is now living solo in a budget-friendly apartment. My husband tells me she's feeling sorry for how she treated me and wants to say sorry to me every day. But for me, I'm not interested in reconciling with her. I don't need her apology, and frankly, I don't even want to see her. With a baby on the way, I've got more important things on my plate. Moving forward, we're focused on building a happy,